Okay, so we kind of cheated the whole holiday season thing last time around when we did Die Hard. Though, I'll remind you, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. But the CineFix overlords have spoken, and now we're being forced to do a Christmas episode of Things You Didn't Know for real. Tucci-Palooza will have to wait. So let's talk about the holiday classic that spawned one okay sequel and then a few more completely unwatchable ones. Here are 9 things you didn't know about Home Alone. Probably. Remember this part of the movie, where Kevin sleds down the stairs? Yeah, you do. Well, you probably never noticed that his sled doesn't actually line up with the front door. Like, at all. If Kevin really did this, he would have crashed into the wall, which still would have been pretty funny now that I think of it. Anyway, it goes without saying that they didn't let Macaulay Culkin actually, do that. Or that. Instead, it was a 30-year-old man. That's right, they found a 30-year-old stunt guy who was roughly the same size as a 9-year-old Macaulay Culkin. You can see here that is definitely not Macaulay Culkin, but Larry the stunt guy ziplining to the treehouse. So good luck unseeing that the next time you watch this movie. Next thing. While Larry Nicholas did all the stunts for Macaulay Culkin, there were some shots where you couldn't fake it with a double, like this one. To get this shot the real way, I'm told, is super dangerous. So they did it backwards. They went through several takes of filming the van backing away from Kevin rather than going forward and almost mowing him down. Then they just reversed the action in playback. And every single take looked like crap and totally didn't work. Except for the one that's in the movie. Which is, probably why they used that one. I'm guessing.
Gus Polinski. How are you? Polka King of the Midwest.
I know I'm not the only one who thinks of the late John Candy as being a fairly major character in Home Alone. But did you know that his entire supporting role was shot in just one day? One 23-hour day? They started at 7 a.m. and wrapped at 6 a.m. the next day. So, for this shot of John Candy and Catherine O'Hara in the truck, they were shooting at about 4:30 in the morning. It makes me miserable just talking about that. And yet, John Candy is freaking delightful. God, I miss that guy. Moving on. A Christmas movie just isn't a Christmas movie without snow. And we get some lovely Christmas morning snowfall in this scene right here. Except that isn't snow, it's potato. See, this is back in the days before you could just have a bunch of nerds CG up some snow for you out of nothing. So, in Home Alone, they used potato flakes along with some fans to blow it around. Unfortunately, after a few takes, the ground was covered in the potato flakes, which then turned into mashed potatoes. So there were just mashed potatoes everywhere that were sort of yellow. Ugh. I don't think anyone is dreaming of a sort of yellow potato Christmas, but if Bing Crosby ever did a version of that song, I do want to hear it.
Where are you, you little creep?
Joe Pesci is a legendary actor, but he may have gotten a little bit too into his role during rehearsals for this scene where he's threatening to bite Kevin's fingers off. During one rehearsal, Pesci bit Macaulay Culkin's finger hard enough to leave a mark, and Culkin has the scar to this day. I don't think I'd mind if I had a scar on my finger from Joe Pesci's teeth. That would actually be kind of awesome. A great icebreaker, at the least. The items Kevin finds in Buzz's trunk are pretty memorable, but the best thing in there might be the photo of Buzz's girlfriend.
Buzz, your girlfriend. Woof.
The thing is, the girl in that picture is actually a guy. The filmmakers knew that they needed a truly frightening girl for the photo, but there was no way to have a girl pose for that picture without scarring her for life. The obvious solution is drag. Just ask Tyler Perry. Or Medea. She knows too. Now that we know Home Alone went on to be the #1 movie for 12 weeks and the #1 film of 1990 overall, it's hard to believe that no one wanted to spend money on it. Its budget was just $18 million. And because the budget was so low, they didn't have the money for fancy special effects like making Kevin's family members' heads appear beside him in this scene. So they hired a guy named Kevin Nordine to do it on the cheap. He did all the special effects out of his mom's basement in Chicago. He charged $200 here, $500 there, depending on the work. Like on this shot, Kevin hand-painted the BB frame by frame for $600. That's actually a nice chunk of change for 1990, but after seeing how much money Home Alone went on to make, it's a safe bet that 24 years later, he's probably still kicking himself for not charging more. So let's talk about the whole tarantula on the face scene with Daniel Stern. Stern agreed to let them put the spider on his face for real, but for only one take. They only did it the one time, and Stern had to mime the scream or else risk frightening the spider. By the way, my band, Frightened Spiders, is playing at the Viper Room next week, and if you're in town, you should totally come. Just leave your name in the comments down below. I'll get you on the list. You guys are into Latin trance hop, right? One more thing about Danny Stern before we get out of here. This is going to seem totally obvious after I tell you, but right there, he's wearing rubber feet. See? Now that I told you that, you're realizing how crazy they look, right? They were nice enough to spare him from walking in the cold snow in his bare feet for the exteriors, but in this shot, Stern really is barefoot. The ornaments are made of candy glass, which isn't as bad as stepping on the real thing, but I'm guessing it still doesn't feel great. Stepping on pointy, broken fake glass is really only marginally better than stepping on pointy, broken, real glass. But way to commit, Danny Stern. Way to commit. Alright guys, are you happy now? We did an actual Christmas Things You Didn't Know. And as we often do, we have loads of things we didn't include in this one. So if you want to see a part 2 on Home Alone, we'll do it. It'll probably be for Christmas 2015, but you know, that's better than ignoring your request completely. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out CineFix.com and subscribe for more true-ish things about movies and sometimes grown-ass men who are as small as 9-year-old boys right here on Things You Didn't Know.